Focus.
Hey Nukenites, this is day 5 of the OSL Round of 16. Gonna start it off with Group A, Bisu versus EffOrt. Actually not starting it off, I casted the last game first today, which is kind of messing with my brain a little bit. I used a stupid voice in that commentary too, so I kind of forget how to talk in my own normal, natural voice. So that's weird. And my head was kind of foggy anyway, because I just got done casting the Pro League Grand Finals with Ranchin over on Vile Attack. If you haven't seen it, please do so. It's a very good final. But every time I cast a long series like that, or duel a long series, and I come back to my regular commentaries, I don't know, it's like coming back from a field trip or something. The world just kind of doesn't make sense for a while, if you remember that feeling as a kid. Stepping off the bus, coming back from Cedar Point, or some amusement park. I don't know, it just doesn't, nothing makes sense. It feels like you should be on a roller coaster or something, eating cotton candy. But here we go. Except, over at the 3 o'clock position in blue is Bisu. Didn't expect that, did you? So down at the 6 o'clock position in brown is EffOrt. Did the switcheroo. But alright, let's get the who's screwed, who's not so screwed score sheet out of the way. Alright, in this particular matchup, if EffOrt wins, and he takes down Bisu a notch, he will give himself 1 win, 2 losses, give Bisu 1 win, 2 losses, and then the next match will be critical with Lita and Action. They'll both be rooting for Lita, because if Lita goes 3-0 in the group, knocks Action down to 1-2, that'll make a lower rung tiebreaker between Action, EffOrt, and Bisu. That would be a fun tiebreaker. But, yes, if Bisu wins, EffOrt is out, basically. EffOrt is fighting for his livelihood here, as that chicken is pecking on someone's nose in the audience. And there will be a possibility for an upper rung tiebreaker if Bisu wins, because that would give him 2 wins, 1 loss. And then he would be rooting for Lita again. Everyone's going to be rooting for Lita to beat Action, basically, so they can get out. But he'll be rooting for Lita to go 3-0 so he can go 2-1, and they'll both have the wins. Because if Action wins, there will be 3 guys with 2-1, and we'll see an upper rung tiebreaker for both spots. So Bisu does not want to be caught in that if he does win. So those are the stakes. There are some high stakes today. Very, very high Outback steakhouses on the Himalaya mountains. But Bisu going to throw down the Forge Fast Expand, pretty usual build for the Protoss players. And this map is not particularly kind to anyone who's not a Zerg player, but I think that Protoss are able to deal with it a lot better than Terran players are. Although I haven't really seen much 2-hatch Muta versus Protoss on this map. I don't think it would work out as well because of the Corsairs. The Corsairs will be able to get the scout pretty early on it too, because the bases are so close together. But alright, let's get some predictions from the Nukenites before we start out the action in this game. Here's one from Neo. Oh, I see a drone went down. I think Bisu just took down a drone with his probe or something. If that is true, man, EffOrt needs to step it up a little bit to beat Bisu. If he's losing a drone to a probe, that is not good, especially this early in the game. Okay, 1 cannon coming up, and Bisu's got to prepare for his Zergling run by because it's a very a usual build for a Zerg player to go for that. Just try to end it early, because they can. But alright, let's get the prediction from Neomorphic Duck writes, "Sorry, Nuke, but the old Protoss style is going out of fashion in a big way. Bisu is going down to EffOrt no matter how much you love him." Aw. Stab my heart, why don't you? Here's another one from AA Defiler. Writes, I really like Jaedong's dedication, but seeing Bisu owning players with his subtle style is just awesome! Exclamation points. 6 of them, and then he puts the number 6. Excellent. So it looks like EffOrt is actually going for pretty standard plays so far. Going for that 3rd expansion. Bisu's got to scout that soon. He's staying inside the main right now, looking for the next tech building. But it looks like fairly standard play from EffOrt. Of course, Bisu's got to be uber careful. If he is going to go for Corsair Reaver, which Protoss tend to do on this map, he's got to protect his front, make sure he has plenty of cannons at the front. Because Zerg just they have so many options on this map, it is a bit ridiculous. It is a little bit overpowered in the Zerg favor because, I don't know, there are a lot of different ways that Zerg can take down each of the races on this map, and some of them you don't see coming unless you get some excellent scouting on, which Bisu is trying to do, is consistently going out with probes, looking for anything that might be out there, looking for another base in the middle, making sure there's no base in the middle. If EffOrt would put a base in the middle, I think Bisu would know that he's going for a Hydralist break. Just having an extra hatchery there close would get him reinforcements faster, so Bisu would have that information. But he saw that that wasn't there, so he's going to go elsewhere to look for that 3rd base. Actually, it looks like he's going straight for the natural expansion again. Maybe he just assumes the 3rd base is in a natural place. But EffOrt going to take out that probe. Probe does not sneak in, but Bisu did get a scout on the amount of Zerglings coming up, so looks like he's going to throw down more cannons. Looks like that probe is getting ready to anyway. Yes, extra cannons coming in for Bisu, and he definitely has to be Johnny on the spot with the cannons here and keep on the scouting. Make sure that EffOrt is not going for an early bust, because that would be absolutely devastating to Bisu. I see what Bisu is warping in now. Here comes the Zerglings, running back and forth for EffOrt. He wants to break through, but he's going to have a very hard time doing this with a couple of Zealots there. And once the 2nd cannon warps in, there's going to be no way that he can get that done. 2nd Stargate coming up for Bisu, so this most likely is going to be Corsair Reaver. So if EffOrt is going for mutas, early mutas, trying to abuse the distance between the bases like that, he's going to be in for a rude surprise soon. But Bisu tempting fate a little bit, going out, kind of leaving himself open a little bit to a Zergling run by, but he knows what he's doing. He has the micro to back it up. So EffOrt is not going to be able to get that Zergling run by soon, so he is going for very, very standard switcheroo here, putting up his Spire just to get out those Scourge to take down the Corsair. And he is putting down the Hydralist in and a bunch more hatcheries, so he is going for a break of the front with Hydras. And Bisu, luckily for Bisu, he is scouting this with his Corsair, using that initial Corsair to scout, and he's going to probably be able to take out one Overlord before the Scourge come into play. But I think the Scourge will be out there very quickly. Yes, the Spire just popped, so the Scourge are going to pop soon. Here come the Scourge. So 4 Scourge going out to take down 2 Corsairs. So Bisu going to be able to snipe 1 Overlord, but he should really get back to his base right now, or else he's going to lose his Corsairs horribly to the Scourge. But alright, see the robotics facility coming up for Bisu. He's putting down extra cannons inside of his base, just in case. Here come more Scourge looking to get lucky and take down a Corsair as it's coming out of the Stargate, but now I think EffOrt is going to get the scout with his Scourge, almost landing both of his Scourge on 1 Corsair, but he did get the scout with those Scourge, so he knows what Bisu is going for. He knows this is going to be a Corsair Reaver build. So he's going to play a little bit more defensively than he normally would, just to protect those Overlords, because the Overlord kills are the main strength of this build, not to mention the Reaver harass later in the game. Alright, EffOrt going to position his Hydralist right next to the Overlord. Got Overlord speed just now kicked in, so that's going to help him even more in running back to his Hydralist. Okay, Bisu's still out. He has plenty of Corsairs to take down 1 Overlord, I think, before the Hydras come into play. And EffOrt's actually doing a very good job hiding these Overlords, even though they might be seen. Bisu does not see the Overlords, though. He's looking for them. Looks like he found them. He found the Overlord pack, and now EffOrt's trying to come into play. are going to try to break the front. So Bisu, hopefully his Reaver is on the way because he really doesn't have much else out as far as his defense goes. He kind of cut his Corsair production so he could get out these Reavers, but he doesn't have enough cannons at the front. And EffOrt could get a huge break here soon. These Corsairs are going to be useless against this kind of a break. Bisu pulling probes off the line. It looks like he was a little bit late in his cannon timing, and I don't see the Reaver anywhere. I mean, the Reaver can save him here, but it's going to be a little too late, I think. All the cannons going down. Bisu pulling off all of his probes, but it looks like his timings were just a little bit off. His Reaver nowhere to be seen, and once the Reaver pops, it's just going to die horribly to these Hydralisks. There's a Reaver. Bisu trying to pick that off, but it's a very smart play from EffOrt, picking off the shuttle and then the Reaver, just making sure that Reaver couldn't get out one Scarab. So this is pretty much over for Bisu. Just didn't have the right defense at home. He had the right idea, which was to go for Corsair Reaver on this map, but just didn't have the right defenses at his natural expansion. Obviously, got completely broken by Hydras. And this was just a standard break from EffOrt. He didn't really do anything spectacular. He didn't do anything too innovative. This is just a very standard Hydralisk break. And I'm surprised that Bisu fell to something like this. Maybe he was a little bit too focused on his Corsair micro. I'm not sure, but yeah, still running around with these Corsairs. They're going to be useless, though. Not going to be able to help out against the Hydralisks, which is really what Bisu needs right now. He needs some kind of help against the Hydras. But going out with his last probe, that's it. GG from Bisu. So EffOrt's still in it. And now EffOrt and Bisu both are going to be rooting for Lita. Go, Lita! So he can knock down Action, and they can be caught in a tiebreaker. Because the only way either of these two gentlemen is going to move into the round of 8 is if they win a tiebreaker. So that is what they're hoping for. If Action wins against Lita, though, Action and Lita are going to move into the round of 8. So things getting exciting in Group A. Let's move on to Group B.